If my pumpkin cheesecake left your Thanksgiving table high and dry because you cannot get cream cheese, then run through this video for another decadent Thanksgiving pumpkin dessert. This recipe may look complicated, but it's really not. It's just measuring almost the same ingredient 3 different times. So go ahead and give it a try. You will love the end result. If you are using fresh pumpkin, make sure you steam it first. Then puree it in a grinder, blender, or like me, a mixer. I'm using the same mixing bowl, less dishes to wash. Add the pumpkin, sift in the brown sugar, and add the butter. Give it a quick mix, and now add the eggs, one at a time as you mix it. Sift in your dry ingredients. Give it just a quick mix until there's no more white flour. I'm gonna line my pot with bacon or parchment paper. Now spread the batter evenly onto the bottom. You can just bake the cake as is, and it would taste great with the cream cheese frosting, or up your baking skills and add the next 2 layers. This pumpkin pie layer will add a creamy, frosting-like layer and increase the pumpkin taste. The crumble layer adds a hint of sweetness and nutty taste to the overall cake. This mixture should be crumbly and still has white flour visible. And now just sprinkle it on top. And we can finally start the baking process. You're watching the Lantern Festival in Thailand. There's 2 celebrations in one. The first is the Sky Lantern, where the Thais make merit in the notion of purity and goodness towards enlightenment. If you want to see the best sky lantern, go to Chiang Mai, Thailand. Second is the floating container, and this resembles letting go of past transgressions and negativities. You'll see those at the end of this clip. It's kind of hard to see. If you are new to baking in your rice cooker, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, the rice cooker will stay on cook for about 5 minutes or so, and then it will go into a warm state. And this is completely normal because when we're baking, there's not a lot of liquid in the batter, so the rice cooker needs to cool down to prevent it from overheating. But there's no need to worry. Your baked good is still cooking in this warm state. Now, if you try to push that cook button during the warm state, it will not go into cook, it will stay on warm. Just allow it to cool because your baked good is still baking even in this warm state. You do, however, have to remember to come back and push that cook button again though. So that's why I set a timer for 30 minutes right after I push that cook button. When the timer goes off, I come back and push the cook button again. And you have to repeat this process until your baked good is done. Also, do not open your rice cooker until after the second or third bake cycle because you want to keep that hot air inside to continue to bake your goodies. I usually check mine after the second bake cycle, and I use a chopstick. You can use a toothpick or skewer, whatever you have on hand. Your baked good is done when there's no more batter stuck to the stick. For a shorter baking time, I recommend to use recipes that calls for 1.5 cup to 2 cups of flour. Recipes with more flour will take a much longer time to bake in the rice cooker. And lately, if I remember, I put a paper towel over the rice cooker before closing to catch any condensation from the lid, but it's not necessary. I did bake my cake for 4 cycles, which is 2 hours. But bake it for 3 cycles and then check it first. Your toothpick should come out clean on the sides and the center will not be completely set but has a little bit clump on it. This is completely okay since it will continue to bake as it cools. Now cool your cake for about 30 minutes and you should serve this cake warm. I did store mine in the refrigerator overnight and it did not close tightly so it is a bit dry on screen. But I just put a piece in the microwave for about 30 seconds and it's back to moist, delicious pumpkin pie cake again. As a reminder, the full recipe and instructions are in the description box below this video. Please hit that thumbs up if you like my recipes and my video. And if you're new here, I upload every Saturdays. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I truly appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe and click on that notification bell for future recipes. So come back next week, and until then, happy baking in your rice cooker.